because this is going to be
You
my
just
own
made her
ringtone.
life. You just made her life.
But
It was a good song, too.
Sometimes when you can't say so, you sing it. Pallavi. Pallavi. And we are back.
Were we recording all of that?
We are back with facial recognition comedy. I am taking over the podcast. No, you guys go ahead. Sorry.
You go ahead.
You just do the intro.
Do the intro.
We are here with Pallavi, Fizaa, and Zahra with facial recognition comedy.
Oh, hi.
And you are...
And I am I'm Morgan J.
Musician and comedian Morgan J.
Yeah, if you hadn't noticed, the singer-songwriter and comedian,
you guys have notes
actor-writer.
about me and shit.
Musical comedian.
Who wrote this shit? Who wrote this up?
It's a collaborative effort.
Wow.
Yes. For this one, mostly Fizaa, and then Pallavi and I added our segments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys, we take this podcast seriously.
Yeah.
That's good.
You know, like the ambitious, driven brown women we are, we do our homework before every
Can I
guest.
put my hands next to your hands and just see this, like,
Skin tone?
Just
if
everyone knows he's half Brazilian and half Argentinian.
Yeah, we just did
half Sicilian, even though my dad was raised in Argentina.
Argentina.
And I did that 23andMe test, and apparently, I don't know what I expected, but it's all like the coast of like that whole area.
So you're like hella Italian.
The coast of Italy?
I'm like Turkish, Greek, Italian. Like I got a little
So
bit
you're
of
like
African. That's
all
why I look
Mediterranean.
all Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I look like
And you
this.
have a little bit of like Northern African
100%.
in you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you can't say 100%.
Yeah, if you're doing 23andMe.
I 100%.
It's very confusing.
I 100%
100% have
agree
3% of it in
and
me.
about 1.3% Northern African.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
For those of us who can't see the video, we just did like one of those Captain Planet fist compilation things just to see our different complexions of brown.
Although during the summer I turned to a different race.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
For sure.
Also, different filters on Instagram, I turned into a different ethnicity altogether.
Yo, people have been giving me shit because they say I use an emoji that's too dark for me, but the other one's too light, and I'd rather.
Yeah, they don't really have much of a gradient.
Yeah.
And what I found out, I have a black friend.
Congrats.
Yeah, you did it. Diversity.
Well, no, but he told me, because I called him to see what he was up to. He was at the Glendale Galleria at a Sephora, because this was the only Sephora in LA that has a special kind of sunscreen just for black people, because he was saying that normal sunscreen is all for white people, and if you put that sunscreen on a black person, it makes them look purple or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Is this true?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so he was like, I have to go to this one. It's the only one that has it. Anyway, that's my story.
Yeah, that is actually a common problem that I have amongst different Sephoras. They don't have everything that I need.
Yeah.
Which is sad, isn't
I'm
it?
very particular about my sunscreen.
I keep sunscreen at my house for white people.
You don't.
I stay out of the sun.
Well, you can get away with like that rugged.
I already have little spots over here. I'm getting those Morgan Freeman spots.
You're getting freckles? I have freckles.
No,
I have freckles.
This is different though. I don't know. This
you're
is
getting like
this is
sunspots.
This is like always here. I'm a 48-year-old man.
No, you're not. Stop it. Stop it. Well, if you are, it's probably believable because I mean, you have that Mediterranean skin, right? So you could be 100 and still look 19.
Yeah, I do look young without the beard. I was telling Fizaa before the podcast.
I can't imagine you without a beard. I think I've only ever seen you with
Listen,
the scruff.
I'm getting a lot of good I'm seriously this year I'm getting a lot of good feedback about the beard, and I've had ladies slide into my DMs about the beard.
The dims.
And then one day I had to shave it, and then I got blown up with
people were upset.
How dare you?
Yeah.
And so
The beard's very in right now.
it's got it. My mom hates it because I'm her little baby.
Yeah,
I think she's
but the beard will give you a jawline. Like
I know.
There's some guys.
Let me see if I can
you
pull
get
up
rid of the beard, and it's just like it looks like they have an elbow.
I don't want to ruin my mystique, but I'm going to pull up my headshot without the beard.
Ooh.
Because it's going to
headshot.
It's going to ruin everything.
Well, sometimes when guys don't have beards, there's no distinction between their chin and their neck.
Yeah.
You know, it's just all
or their
one.
chest, or. But what else is up? What else did you want to talk about while I pull this up?
Let's talk about the podcast thing.
Oh God.
Can we talk about that?
Whoa, that we're going right into that?
I really want to go into it.
Man, we're just
oh, baby boy. Show it to the
so
camera. Show it to the camera. Baby boy.
Aw, that's adorable.
Yeah, well, that was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, you've aged drastically in 2 years.
Yeah. Fizaa did not do an awe. She was just like, yeah. She's like, whoa, okay.
No, right. it was cute.
No.
Well, you guys have history. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so we did.
We did a podcast. We did 2 shows together.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell the story.
Yeah, please.
I saw her. We did this weird show in the basement of a Veterans Affairs place.
And you saw her across the basement.
I saw her walk in with her pigtails and sweatpants and book bag. And I was like, what is this college kid doing in this seedy basement filled with veterans? But then she left, and then I randomly ran into her. Well, not randomly. We did another show together, and then I kind of had a little crush on her.
Hey.
And
but see, like,
I wasn't gonna slide. And I was like, maybe I'll just slide into her DM, and I didn't but I didn't want to be a dude who just slides into. I didn't want to slide into her DM.
That is you're such a gentleman.
I was like, I'll just run into it another show, and at the next show, I'll try to like talk to her and have a real conversation. But I got nervous around her, and normally I'm really suave and cool.
Oh my God, you made him nervous.
Normally he's really suave and cool.
I am. I swear, I am. And then we had a mutual friend. We have a mutual friend, Leah. And
shout out to Leah.
Leah has a podcast. I don't actually know what the name of it is.
I think it's called Falling in Love with Leah Lamar.
Oh, Falling in Love with Leah Lamar. Okay.
I think.
And so she gets 2 people. So she asked me a couple times if I wanted to do it. And then finally I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then she was like, all right, well, here's a couple of different girls I was thinking of pairing you up with. Is there anybody else you want me to ask? I was like, well, I kind of have a crush on this girl, Fizaa. You could ask her. And then
it's open book.
I love this.
Yeah. Nice. And then she said, yeah. And then I was like, oh God, I'm so nervous. And then we went there, we stared into each other's eyes, and we hung out. It was cool.
Is that how it works? Is that how the podcast works?
She tries to like
make you fall in love.
Release these chemicals.
Yeah.
So it's like a date. It's like a date on a podcast.
It's kind of like a chaperone date.
Yeah.
Which are basically like dates in the Indian culture.
Yeah.
Because like your cousins and people come
Yes or no?
Are all your parents immigrants?
Yes.
Yeah.
And were all of you born in America?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And did they want to set you up with anybody?
Oh my God. I got a text message today.
She had appointments every week.
Is the big sick pretty accurate?
Yes.
That's her life.
For
guys,
Zahra.
That's Zahra's life.
I have a text from my dad this morning, actually.
A lot of this in the Indian culture, right?
Today at 8:25 a.m. Guys,
I am not used to it.
You guys listen.
Guys, this was a text from my dad today at 8:25 a.m. Someone was referred to me this last week, 38 years old. If I'm not wrong, lawyer practicing in New York, living in Long Island. I could forward his details to you with picture. This will be all your decision. Please let me know. He is not our relative or friend, and definitely I don't know him, Daddy.
This is real.
Whoa.
I like how they have to put in, he's not your cousin, don't worry.
Can I tell you something? I honestly think there's something a little bit comforting about that, because the pool is so big that it's like nice to have somebody like limit it for you sometimes, but not to say like you're gonna fall in love with that person. But I'm saying like
the filter. The filter is so important, and the filter is what, your dad.
Yeah, the filter's my dad. I bet you there have been really cool dudes that have wanted to potentially marry me that my parents have just like turned away because they're like, he is not religious enough.
Is it gonna be an Indian man for you? Are you guys all Indian?
No, she's Pakistani.
I'm Pakistani.
We're Indian. They're Muslim. I'm Hindu.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I forgot the question. Okay, so like you're gonna keep it in the tribe?
I gave up on my tribe because they gave up on me a long time ago.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. If you guys married any other ethnicity other than Indian or Pakistani, would your parents be really upset?
Yes.
No? Yes.
No.
No. Okay.
At
Mine
this
would
point,
be.
they're just hoping it's a guy.
I ask that.
My parents have said that they're fine. They like they had us in this country, and like my dad was like, statistically, you're probably not going to date an Indian person.
Your parents are rational people.
I love that science shit when it comes to.
I'm just not telling you the other irrational shit they've said.
Yeah. I only ask that because my sister-in-law is Chinese, and her parents are from Hong Kong. And when my brother, who's way more white looking than I am, started dating her, she didn't tell her family about him for like a year or like a year and a half.
That's common.
And he looks white.
Yeah, he does.
But it's very common.
She's still Fizz, you've already met the family?
Well, listen to this. When she finally told him, her mom stopped talking to her No. She kept it a secret for like 5 or 6 years. Then she told her mom, and her mom stopped talking to her for a full year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember at the wedding, like very vividly, during the speech as her mom like was crying and left the room.
Wow.
And I honestly think it's because she was not happy.
Yeah. That's
crazy.
But I mean, why wouldn't she be happy? The children would have been fair skinned.
Yeah, but see all that like that's so narcissistic when you make your children an extension of your own identity, and that's what they're doing. It's like, oh well, my happiness is contingent on you marrying someone who you're sort of related to. Like,
but they also have.
Have you seen how incest kids come out?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Nature doesn't like that.
Hello, Britain.
Hello, Britain. I think like part of it though is like expectations. Like we all have expectations of what our life is going to be like, and they like they just projected theirs on us. So it's like it's sad, you know, but it's also like chill the fuck out. It's going to be fine.
Is there some part of you that is looking for? I'm like making it like the podcast that I do right now, but is there some part of you that wants to find a partner that will make your parents happy at all, or no?
I mean, I think there's some conditioning there, but it also does the opposite, because I think for the longest time I always would choose partners that were the opposite
would make them angry. Yeah.
But I think now it's not as much of a thought, so that's like healthier behavior, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think I had somebody told me it's like we work so hard to find somebody that our parents like when we should spend more time finding somebody that we actually like. You know?
Yeah.
And then so then you have to like move the marker.
I just had that revelation in like the last couple of years, because for a lot of my adult life, I was trying to find a compromise, someone that I could bring home, that my parents would be okay with, that I also liked, but I never liked any of those guys at the end of the day. So then I just like gave up, threw out all the rules and just kind of followed my own rationale and my own heart and stuff. So
yeah, I don't know if my mom is gonna like anybody. The way she talks about my other
your heart led you to a DJ.
My heart led me to a
DJ.
Yeah, I'm dating a DJ.
Is his name DJ Sandhu, or is it? Or is it like a DJ? Like it's like a DJ.
DJ Sandhu. He's been a guest on this podcast. It's not DJ Sandhu.
Yeah, I met DJ. He came over to the crib. He was doing a show with my roommate.
No, he's an actual DJ. I just got word that rumors are flying back east.
This is so fun.
Amongst my family.
How back east?
Jersey.
Okay,
yeah.
that's where I'm from.
You're from Jersey? I think we've had this conversation.
Maybe we
You
have.
get so excited.
Oh my God.
I was born in, I was born an hour from New York.
Teaneck. Okay, cool.
And grew up in Mahwah.
In Mahwah. That's like North Jersey.
Yeah, it's the last city. It's before you
it's like the
New
tip.
York State.
It's the
tip.
northern tip of Jersey.
And it's like a really affluent area, but I wasn't in the affluent part of town. I was like
There's a hood?
person.
There's a hood in Mahwah?
Okay, so like as hood as it could be, like I was raised by like a single mom and shared a room with 2 boys. You know what I mean? Where some people had like little McMansions in this fucking neighborhood.
Yeah, did you have bunk beds?
Bunk beds, yeah. And when I remember, it was the kind of public school where the kids drove better cars than the teachers.
Yeah.
And I remember the car I had was like a 1987 Peugeot, where like there was no AC, and during the summer I had to put
Roll the windows.
I had to do that
I actually had to put the heat up so the car wouldn't overheat. And,
Oh my God.
yeah. So anyway, I'm humble.
I get it.
Wait, I want to go back to your what's been happening in your.
Yeah. So what's up with this DJ girl?
No.
Okay.
The rumors are my favorite.
So, okay, I don't know if I'm sure a lot of our listeners can relate to this. I grew up around a lot of my cousins. My parents are each one of 6, and like everybody's settled in the tri-state area of like New Jersey, New York, whatever. So some of the cousins live out here, and your cousins are kind of like your friends because they've been through some similar shit that you have, and so you have war stories to, relate on. So it's like no one's a snitch, right? Like if Muhammad's doing some weird shit, or he's doing drugs,
Fucking
or he's
Muhammad.
dating a white girl, you don't, you don't snitch. You're not
broke the code.
Yeah, so you don't go back to your grown-ups and like tell them like,
Listen,
Muhammad.
I listened to the first season of Serial, so I kind of know a little bit about it.
Exactly.
Did you listen to that?
Yeah.
Serial?
That shit was fire.
Yeah. So
Did I snitch on the snitch?
no, you didn't snitch on the snitch. But so I think like I've been posting pictures here and there on Instagram because like none of the grown-ups are on Instagram,
of her with her boyfriend.
But I don't know. I think she thought it was like, all right, like just free knowledge to go tell all the grown-ups that are not like social media savvy. So she basically told everyone that I'm dating a DJ and he's half Hindu and half Jewish to a very conservative, like Pakistani Muslim household of parents. Damn. And so now it's like spreading like wildfire and I'm getting my phone's blowing up. My dad's trying last resort efforts to hook me up with a lawyer.
You're a lawyer.
Yeah. Like, so it's
I don't know him, I swear. That's my face. He said I don't know him like 3 times in that text.
You know, like Pakistani culture is pretty intense.
It is intense.
We're like in the spectrum. I think Indian Muslims are not as lax as you guys, the Hindus.
Yeah.
But
we're chill as fuck.
I mean, the whole history of Pakistan is like it's the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. It was created so that everybody could have the religion and they could freely express their Islam in that country. So like that's their main identity is their religion, and so that's why they're like
church and state is not separate. There.
Exactly. So they're very very like into it, and they want to like maintain it and all that stuff. So
I think it will turn out all right in the end.
Maybe. I hope so. But you know, if it's like your family that's snitching, it's like, can you give them stitches? No, I don't know. No, it's just.
Okay. But isn't it someone you're close to? Like you should know better.
I mean, we're not going to be close anymore. They should know better. But it's like I'm fine with being outed, but I would have liked to do it in my own time, and so now this has just accelerated the timeline, kind of, and I just have to be ready for those conversations.
I get it.
Do you ever have that like?
My mom or my parents?
With your mom, your parents, your extended family?
The conversation is, I mean, I'm the only one in the family who like has really had multiple girlfriends.
Okay.
Oh.
He's had more than one girlfriend.
And you brought them home and stuff?
I've only brought 2 girls home.
Okay.
And this is the way my mom talks about
I feel like the expectations are high from your mom.
So my mom moved here. My mom moved to America with like a suitcase. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like the woman I bring home has to be like kind of, like strong. I mean, that's what I think. Like, and also I'm attracted to that.
Yeah.
Like a boss.
I just elbowed Fizz.
Like a boss. Like I'm attracted to a boss bitch, and like I find that shit like. I could find a woman's career just as hot as like the way she looks. You know what I mean? Like if they got to be passionate about something. I couldn't bring somebody home who's like, well, I do this and it's fun. What are we cooking tonight?
It's
like spin classes.
Yes.
So
my mom.
So are you okay with like? So you like someone who's like a boss bitch? So would you consider someone who's like selling healing crystals on Etsy?
I'll be honest with you. If that person is passionate about that,
are you mean now? What's happening?
I don't know. I'm just like it's like basically anyone entrepreneurial that's like has a dream that
they don't
like
even gotta be an entrepreneur. Like I could date somebody who's a teacher, but if they love teaching and they come home and they're like, you're not gonna believe what happened in class.
They have to have some depth.
Yeah, they gotta just like
They have to have like passion, excitement.
And even if somebody works a normal 9 to 6 job, although I'm coming to, I don't think I can date something like that anymore, But if they did that and then on the side they were passionate about something else, something that they were just excited about, I don't know.
Got it.
I don't know. But at this point, though, I think my mom just is nervous that I've kind of I haven't settled down with anybody. So I think she's just nervous that.
You're not even all of our parents should have a support
but she's
group
just
together.
nervous, like given my tendencies and my habits, like she's nervous that there's not going to be a woman to take care of me. She just like wants, not like totally take care of, but like have somebody there for me.
She doesn't want you to be alone.
She wants me to be alone. She wants me to be happy.
She wants you to have a companion.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay.
Yeah. 31.
You're fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
You'll be all right.
My mom, a couple months ago, my mom was like, you know what I think's going to happen to you, Morgan? I think you're going to get a woman pregnant at 40. And that's what's going to happen to you. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean, Mom? Because my dad was 20 years older than my mom was.
Oh, wow.
And
she's like, you're just like your father.
Also, are you interested in women who are 20 years younger than you at this point in your life?
No.
Yeah, are you interested in 11-year-olds? Are you really into 11-year-olds?
No.
You don't want to say that on air.
All right, okay.
No, but I just read an article.
You're not going to get an honest answer.
I just read an article about
pedophilia.
I just read an article about the relationship that Woody Allen had with a 16-year-old girl right before he made Manhattan, and the way.
Wait, was that his stepdaughter?
No. That was still
different.
this other girl, this teenager he met who was like trying to be a model in New York, and she wrote some book, or I don't know what she wrote, but she was just talking about how it's not a takedown piece. The way she sees it is like a long love affair of like 6 years, you know? I don't know.
How old was he?
I think he was probably 40 or something.
He was being a creep.
I mean, you know. Listen,
my grandma was married at like 14. Like,
I mean, so
it's just
context.
But it's like, but also like that wasn't right. Like the fact that our grandparents our grandmothers had to wait till they had their period after they got married to like be with the person.
Yeah,
like that's not okay.
But the social constructs were different then, you know.
Listen, and 10 years from now, podcasting is going to be like racist to some. Like it's going to every 10 years, some.
I feel like this is a little different.
No, I know.
Honestly, no.
Like blaming like the blame culture.
And blame and shit.
I mean, there's a lot, like even like from 10 years ago or 15 years ago, like people are even saying like Friends, which was a hit TV show when it was on air. I mean, the reruns are on, but like people are saying that like the characters were homophobic and this phobic and that phobic.
And they couldn't afford an apartment like that.
But I think there's a difference with like an individual who's like 40 dating someone who's like 16. Like that seems like personal issues as well.
I agree. I agree with you. I just think it's like not so black and white.
Yeah, I don't know. In 2018, I agree with you. In 1915, maybe I wouldn't have. I have no idea.
Because you wouldn't have had a voice because you're a woman.
Exactly. Absolutely.
100 years ago, like we didn't really have refrigerators. You know what I'm saying? So just like things change so rapidly.
You're just putting salt on shit.
Yeah, you're
somewhere someone black is listening to this. Like, I can't believe that's what they brought up from 100 years ago.
Oh yeah, dude. 200 years ago, people were slaves. There's people slaves now. Holy shit. Anyway, what else are we talking about today?
So, okay, we're talking about, so your mom's Brazilian, your father's Argentinian. Yeah. And what would you call yourself?
I'm American, man. That's what I am.
He said with a beer in his hand.
A Modelo, a Mexican beer in his hand.
What's more American than us?
Yeah,
true. Yeah. Some people might argue with that, though. Has anyone tried to call you out on your Americanism?
No, but I mean, I don't know. I was going to say I've been racially profiled a bunch. I don't know if that's just like, I don't think any people, like when I go to American parts of the country.
Yeah.
I for sure get a little look.
You're a little tan, you know. You have a little Mediterranean, potentially Arab look.
That where you from? That aggressive where you from? You know.
It's dark beard.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you travel all over the country for comedy and stuff, right?
It's good beard.
So do you have any crazy stories where you found yourself in a different part of the country?
I mean, I think the weirdest thing was in the South. So I toured colleges in the South this year, and I was in Tennessee, and I was walking into a Cracker Barrel. And there was a guy
Whoa.
At a Cracker Barrel in Tennessee?
No wonder they didn't like you. You can't call it that.
No, but this guy had a holstered gun walking out of Cracker Barrel. And it was just like really odd to see.
That's America.
Because it's like, what does he need the gun for? Like, what is going to happen at Cracker Barrel?
In case your kind comes along.
Well, I mean, it's legal. It's the Second Amendment, right? So people have the right to have a gun.
I mean, I wonder how many people here in LA have concealed carry, you know?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, at least you saw it.
I've been thinking about getting a gun.
Wow. Why?
But you have the right to think about getting a gun.
But only for like end of days purposes.
For the
I
apocalypse.
swear to God, like I have in my earthquake kit, it's like a pack of water, a blanket, a lighter, and then a gun in case like
you're gonna need some gauze in that kit if you're gonna have a gun in there.
Have you used a gun before?
I've never. I'm really scared to use one. Have you used a gun?
I have
3 times.
Wow, damn.
I hated it.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
I hate guns.
It's frightening.
I hate being around guns.
Yeah.
Then
I won't get a gun.
I mean, but if someone feels comfortable around the gun, I'm less nervous. But if someone's like, I don't know how to fucking use this.
Yeah, I mean, I would go through the proper training and like get good at using it.
Don't not get a gun on my behalf unless you're
I'll probably get a gun maybe.
Aww.
I'm just scared. I'm even scared to like I'm scared to call and go to the shooting range to even try it out.
I want to go to the shooting range.
I've gotten a few times.
I hate shooting ranges.
I went the LA Gun Club wasn't that bad.
The only thing she shoots is crystals out of a slingshot. That's what I think she's shooting.
No, I appreciate what guns are for. It's just like I don't I don't need to be around it.
It is terrifying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, okay, someone could just like sneeze and
no, that's
you
why
can easily kill anyone.
When I shot, so I did the LA Gun Club, and that wasn't like automatic or anything. But then when we went to Vegas, we shot automatics, and that's when I realized that anybody can shoot anybody in there, and then it's done.
Yeah, it's so easy to kill everybody in there, and then go outside and kill everyone else. It's
very terrifying.
There's so many guns in there.
Okay, so you're gonna get a gun.
No, I don't know if I will.
You heard it here, Morgan Jay's getting a gun.
You know, if you feel comfortable,
check it out.
Gun,
his guitar case.
You're flipping it around. You don't have a case on it. A phone. Maybe you should. I don't know.
No. We'll move on to some other subject.
Something other than guns.
I'm curious what else is on this list.
Well, they have.
Okay. So
what else is on this?
You are a professional comedian, and at some point you made the shift from doing just pure stand-up comedy, and then you introduced music into your act.
That's right. Yeah.
And has that drastically changed your career?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what took me to full time, and I remember the transition was difficult because I know when I first started singing, I would shake on stage. Just because it was a new thing, but
vibrato,
vibrato. No shake. Well, no, like physically, I would shake. When I
but
played. It was like full body vibrato.
Yeah. Okay.
I was vibrating.
Yeah.
Oh, vibrato. Yeah. Is that where we're going with the joke?
Yeah, I used to play. But anyway, I was trying to imply that it enhanced the sound, but
oh no, it didn't.
Yeah,
it didn't.
well, yeah, and then So I've been doing comedy 11 years, and then I've been doing the music for 5 years.
So live comedy for 11 years.
11 years, yeah.
And so, like all these, because you have like the very impressive list of credits.
My
like
CV.
Fallon, Sketchfest, your CD.
My CV. Well, Fallon, I acted on Fallon.
Okay.
I didn't do a full set on Fallon.
What'd you do on Fallon?
I did a couple little sketches on it. So I was an intern there for a couple months. And then after I graduated, I gave them my headshot. And then they called me to do like some extra stuff.
This is Fallon in New York?
Late night, before we did the Tonight Show.
Got it.
And then I played a page with a weird name, and I had like a couple episodes where I had a line or two. And then I remember they were talking about actually signing me on to be a character on the show.
Yeah.
And then they decided against it. And then they gave the part to some other writer on the show.
Were you heartbroken?
I was. Well, I was really young at that time. So, I mean, I was 22, 23 or something like that.
Okay.
So, I mean, I've had moments like this, and maybe you guys could relate where you're like, this is it.
It's the end of the world.
Well, see, then you get so close, you get attached, and then you feel like you lose something.
Yeah, and then and now people are like, you don't seem excited about anything.
And that's the best way to be. Stay neutral.
Stay neutral, dude.
Stay
but then, like, when you're talking to non-comics, like normal people, and you're telling them about like,
well, it's really cool for them.
Yeah.
I mean, back in New Jersey, I'm like in a Progresso soup commercial, and they're like, you fucking made it!
I still get really excited for people. When I see them pop up on my like Hulu or whatever, I'm like, yeah.
I get so excited.
People I like.
I record everybody like just on my Instagram story, like, oh shit, is that David
too.
Murphy?
And then I get so mad when if I miss them, I'm like, and then I have to message them anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I think with talking about somebody just delivered wine, I think. Is that just a bunch of wine?
We're gonna get drunk.
Sick.
Yeah, I think we have to acknowledge what just happened.
Yeah. So
thank you.
So so I forgot what I was gonna say, but
you're a superstar.
No. With the music comedy though, I feel like I'm getting. Also, when I did stand up, I was like high energy doing act outs in New York in the alt scene, and I did not get a lot of love from comics. Because there it's like very cynical and it's very, you
got to be more genuine.
And you got to be a comics comic.
Yeah,
and I'm not really a comics comic.
You're the people's comic.
You're the people's comic.
I'm entertaining.
Yeah, you're an entertainer.
Which I think, I don't know why that's not the most important part of this business.
But the thing is, like, you also trained, right?
When you said...
Yeah, I trained
You trained to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
As opposed to a lot of other comics in New York, not a lot of people have the training.
He's a classically trained actor.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is correct.
This is a Tisch graduate.
And Progresso soup commercial star.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, no, what I'm saying is like I get some pushback at shows, and I feel like the minute I step on stage with the guitar, I fight a little resistance. I mean, I think at least once a week. It happens often enough where somebody for me to even say it on the podcast, where somebody comes up to me after a show and they're like, hey, when you walked on stage with your guitar, I fucking hated you. But I got to be honest with you, it was pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of
like,
and I'm sure you guys relate to that as like women. When you get off stage, you're like, it was pretty funny.
Actually funny.
Yeah, I've gotten that so many times. Even as early or as like recent as last week, this guy was staring at me as soon as I got in. He was like with a table full of women. As soon as I entered into the club, he was staring at me, and I was like, all right, he's checking me out, whatever. And then I don't think he realized I was a comic, and I went on stage and he's laughing at my jokes. His entire table of women are laughing at my jokes. I come off and they're like, I ended up like the green room area was very close to this table of women. So like they were all like really excited to meet me and stuff. And then he comes up to me after and he was like, what did he say? He said, you have great stage presence. And he walked away. And I'm like, if you're going to give me a backhanded compliment, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
Like, how is that? How is that a backhanded compliment?
Because it's...
Well, maybe you didn't. Maybe he didn't hear the jokes, though, right?
Yeah, I don't...
Did he not hear the jokes?
Maybe
I feel like Zahra gets real compliments and is like, that's a backhanded compliment.
No, as a comic, though, I mean, that's kind of like...
You just want your funny.
Yeah, like you could say that's really funny, or like I liked your material, but he like specifically
I get that
commented
too,
on my stage presence, and I'm like, so not my jokes, just my what do you go away?
I think a lot of people don't know how badly comics just want to hear you're funny.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
I've gotten the same.
I don't know.
But then also when you're at a party and they're like, "Are you funny?" and then it's like,
well, I've had like some.
I just tell people, "Yeah, I am." I go,
yeah.
Huh?
Well,
I tell people that too.
Yeah, I am. I hope so. I mean, I'm doing this for a living. Right?
Yeah.
I just say and then I walk away because it's usually a dude I don't want to talk to.
But the resistance you get because you do musical comedy, you probably get it a lot from the back of the room, right? From other comics, because there's some sort of like, I don't know, this thing that comics have.
I think they're just insecure.
There was one comic who will remain nameless that I knew in New York. And out here in LA, I did a big show, I guess, here in LA at a venue. And then he was also on the lineup. I think he went up after me or before. I don't know. But he saw my set. And this dude, I never hear him say a nice thing about anybody, but he came up to me. He's like an alt comic, very serious. And he paid me. He's like, hey, that was really incredible, man. I was like, wow, this fucking dude. If this guy thinks it's good. But
who is it?
Oh, no, I'm not going to tell you who it is. But I also think the hard part is like, you know, sometimes your first impression is people's only impression too. So there's people, when I started a long time ago, like in New York, I was doing open mics with Kumail and who else was I doing? Like Mark Norman and
11
people like
years
that.
ago.
Yeah, I was like in a little back room near a bathroom. Like I was doing open mics with them and I wasn't good then, you know? And so when I moved out here, I was good, but I wasn't like great. So then like you ask these people that you used to know and they're not going to book you. And now like I just have to accept that I'm just part of a different class. Like it's kind of like I got held back in grade school because I started over a bunch. Like I, you know, when I moved out here, I had to start from square one again. And then a year after that, I switched to the guitar and then I had to start again and I threw away all my material. So like my journey has been a little bit longer. And I think when it does happen or that thing happens, like I'll be more prepared and be able to handle it with a sounder mind. Like if good things happened to me 5 years ago, I probably would have fucked it up. You know what I mean?
And also you're 31. So I mean the time is gonna come and you're gonna be, like you said, you're gonna be more ready for it than
also, but then you know it's hard sometimes you see somebody who's like 23 and they're like doing a set on Fallon and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but then what are they like? I think it takes everybody like a different path, and like it's going to be ups and downs anyways, and you're just getting yours out at the beginning.
No, I deserve it now.
Okay, well, thank you, Morgan J, for being. No, I'm kidding.
I think you do, and I think a lot of people think you do. So
well, it's been going well, so I'm just happy to be making a living now.
Do you ever play just regular music, like music gigs?
Yeah, I do. I've written normal songs for myself and other artists, but
do you do straight stand-up anymore?
No. And at the beginning of the year I was doing open mics and trying to bring jokes back into it, but I don't feel as I feel more relaxed with a guitar in front of me. I don't know.
Love it. You said you loved it.
Well, I love it. I love singing.
And also that's bringing you success, right? It's
and
so
and I don't know, I just feel
just
more,
the fact that you love it.
Oh,
like that's all you have to say. Like you just didn't.
I'll sing for an hour alone at home and I'll feel better afterwards. I know it sounds lame, but
that's not lame. That's
I feel like we all do that.
You have to do what you love.
Bad at singing.
Do you know what I've been doing now? If there's anybody out there who wants to be a singer-songwriter, I developed a new technique for coming up with melodies, and I don't know how we are in time, but I have a book of poems by Shel Silverstein.
Oh, I love that.
And so I go through it and I look
Am I the only one who doesn't awe?
You're cold as ice.
You don't like Shel Silverstein?
I love Shel Silverstein.
The Giving Tree?
I'm not an R.
Oh, okay.
No. I know. You're present. You're just taking it in. I get
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
But I'll take.
Thank you for noticing.
Yeah, I'll take the poem and I'll try to turn it into a song. And then
She's awe-shaming us, by the way. I don't appreciate that.
This outrage culture. You cannot host the 2030 Oscars.
Look, I just held up a mirror.
Yeah, but that's how I do it.
I
That's the
like
new
it.
little thing I've been doing. And so, yeah, so that's one little way.
That's cute.
So it's like learning new ways to
Be musical.
because it's like there is kind of a textbook way to write jokes, and there is a guideline, and there are ways to. And with songs, it's a little bit different. It's not like I can go to an open mic and write a song on stage.
Yeah.
So I usually have to prepare the song. I don't know if it's funny or not. And I have to like rely on my experience and intuition. And then sometimes I'll just edit it or cut it out. If it's not funny enough, I'll take some shit out. It's like you got to be pretty ruthless with it. So
I recently did musical comedy
how did it
because
go?
it was like 3 weeks in advance. Somebody was like, "You can be on the show, but it's musical this time." And I was like, "Fucking yeah, challenge accepted."
This happened?
This happened.
And no one knew about it?
Yeah, why didn't I know about it?
This wasn't in LA. It was in Portland.
Oh,
You
okay.
tell us everything.
I know.
Dare you.
I kind
We
of
don't need
don't.
to know.
We
We don't need to know. But
I would have looked out for that
I need to
video.
know that shit.
I'm really bad at it, but
That's why.
I think, but
There
it
it
was
is.
fine because it was like a good set. But like, I
what?
did 2 parodies, and it was so hard to like get the singing on time with the music when it wasn't just karaoke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I'm not
No,
a
I
good
get
singer. I'm better at rapping. But even with the rapping, I like fucked it up a bit. But it was still like funny and like fun. But
it's another skill.
yeah,
It's like
that's
doing,
what
it's like doing this.
yeah, exactly.
If people
Yeah,
can't
patting
see
your
it.
head, rubbing your
Yeah.
belly.
Yeah, it's like that. It's kind of. I literally
It's
had
totally like that.
It's a whole other skill. That's why I'm like, I wonder why comedians don't like what I do sometimes or shit on what I do, because it's like
hard.
I'm doing more things on stage. You know what I
How
mean?
long have you been a musician for?
Oh, I played piano for 10 years, and then I've been doing guitar for 16.
Okay, so you already were
Yeah.
songwriting.
I mean, use
prior
your
to
skill set. That's what
comedy.
you're doing.
Dude, we're entertainers. Like, we're the one art form that has a required result.
You know what it
at the
is?
end of it.
It's insecurity, I think, because I think audiences love musical comedy. And you're good at
Yeah,
it, but they don't
yeah.
know that, so they want to hate because
That's
they had a
okay.
shitty set. It's
I'm happy to
hating. It's
turn
just
them-
hating. Who cares?
Yeah, that's all
It's
good.
a compliment.
Who said? Cat Williams said you gotta have haters on you. If you don't got haters, you ain't doing a good job.
And I always look to Cat Williams
Yeah.
for my lifestyle.
I mean, he says some real shit sometimes.
You know?
And sometimes he's just,
And sometimes he does
spiteful.
specials in Jacksonville. So,
Yeah. I know that whole special. It's like
and it's all crowd work.
it's all crowd work.
I'm from Florida, so I actually appreciate it.
I thought it was.
I was like, this must
I
have
thought
been
it was
horrible
so
for
funny. I was watching it. I was like, fucking yeah, do 30 minutes on just Jacksonville.
Unscripted Jackson.
one motherfucking part of the neighborhood. You in Jacksonville. You don't know where you at.
I appreciate that.
Yo, why-
I gotta watch that.
I
again.
always think Cat Williams is like taping his special in a sauna because that guy sweats
Yo.
profusely.
He's wearing a full. He's wearing a. He's wearing a.
suit, that hair,
I don't
Yeah, the
know.
suit-
put the
man.
hair down,
He's
his
wearing
lights
his
and shit,
father's suit on stage.
axed outs and
Yeah.
energy and shit.
Is his father Flavor Flav?
No, I'm just saying
I
because
don't-
because he's always wearing like a big suit.
Yeah.
He's always wearing a big suit.
Flavor Flav's not that old.
I know. I'm
Flavor Cat.
I like all the laughing.
I'm kidding. Cat Williams, please let me open for you.
Yeah.
Flavor Flav, please let me open for you.
Oh my God. So wait, before comedy or during your starting comedy, you also worked at the Apple Store?
Yeah, I worked 9.5 years.
That's what I want to
And
get
I worked
into.
9.5
Did
years.
you work there with Suba Agarwal?
No, I didn't work with Suba.
Because she
I know
also
Suba.
worked at the Apple
I know
Store.
Suba
Do you
from
know how
New
many
York.
Apple stores there are?
No, but
Don't
it's
all
like-
you comedians know each other?
No, but it's like
but
it's
there's a
just
couple
funny to
comics.
me that like
I
I
know
know 4 comics that have worked at the Apple Store.
Thank you, Apple, for sponsoring.
But I also
comedian
worked
careers.
at the Container Store for 3.5
Did you feel
years.
boxed in? I hate myself. I hate myself. Are you leaving?
I gotta go.
Okay, I'm
too.
gonna. I'm quitting. This is my announcement.
No, dude, that job actually was a good job because I worked in the stock room, and so I could kind of check out and have my little notebook.
You were stocking containers.
No, you're like, you're just doing a bunch of
inventory.
Bullshit like
mindless work is the best.
Were you writing jokes while you were
to sustain
doing stocking things?
Yeah. 100%. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say it's better not to. You have a job that uses a lot of bandwidth during the daytime.
100%. That's the perfect way to describe it. What do you do?
I'm in management consulting. So I'm like a proficiency expert and stuff.
You gotta
60 hours
use your brain and shit.
Yeah.
Me, I'm just like ding, 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 ding.
And you can be creative. I mean, I was on the phone with insurance for like 2 hours while I was getting paid.
Any job you could put any job you could put headphones in and listen to music to, it's like a good job. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, I worked there. Apple Store was all right. I mean, real talk, I quit, but the timing was good. I quit because they were going to fire me, but...
Oh, wait, wouldn't it be better to be fired? Don't you get
don't you get unemployment?
No, they were going to fire me for being shady. So
what did you do?
Oh no!
I was giving everybody discounts.
Oh, that's
and you know, do you want to know what happened? You want to know what my last transaction was? Okay.
Yes.
It was an Indian family.
Hey.
And they were like from India. And Indian dads like want a good deal. They want to like get a deal, right?
And they think they can haggle with you.
Yeah, so he comes
corporate.
So he comes in like a retail store. So the dude comes to me, and at this point, I just want to say like, I was giving anybody who asked for a discount. So the guy was like, "You give me discount, like give me discount."
Oh,
okay.
And
I don't like that lower.
I was like, "Nah." He's like, "Come on, discount." I was like, "You know what, bro? All right, I got you."
That's a good accent, actually.
Good job. So I gave him a discount, and then I didn't realize he had like 20 family members on the other side of the store.
Oh my god!
So he goes,
"Oh my god!"
That's like all of our dads.
Yeah. He's like, "Come," and what's really crazy is that he had like a nephew or something. He goes, "I get discount," like to show off. So he's like playing it up, and then I was like, "Listen, it's 6:30. My shift's over. I gotta go. I can't give you any more discounts." So I leave. I had a coworker come to me downstairs, and she's like, "Did you give those guys a discount?" I said, "Yeah, I did." She's like, "Why?" I was like, "Because I'm a nice guy, and this shit is expensive." And I was just trying to be like, and she couldn't wrap her brain around like, rule breaker.
Oh my god, I hate those people.
She snitched.
There's people who drink the Kool-Aid, and there's people who make the Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? So I come in the next day, and I had a meeting with the manager, and they were like, "Can you walk us through the last couple of transactions of the day?" So I just was like, I was trying to surprise and delight our customers,
Surprise and delight.
Use that jargon and shit, And then she's like, well, we're going to have a follow-up meeting about this next week. And I said, okay, cool. I had another meeting with another manager, and she was kind of like really chill about it. She's like, well, I just want you to know that like they're going to ask you these questions, so I need you to know like what you're going to say and shit. And then like right after that, I just sent him an email like, all right, I'm going to be out of here in 2 weeks. And but the timing was good because I just signed with a college agent, ended up booking like 3 fat ass commercials that paid a lot of money, and like a bunch of college dates. So
exactly
right after that, like the universe, I believe the universe provides, and the universe provided for me.
At your shows, do you give discount?
Sometimes
what's the promo code for your next show?
Well, sometimes I feel like I'm too nice. Like I'm trying to find a venue. I think I did find a venue. Actually, this venue is super fucking cool. It's a Moroccan rug store in Culver City.
Yeah.
And I did a show there once. These two super nice dudes. Anyway, I'm going to sell tickets to it, but I never know. Like I always feel bad. Like at some point you have to ask yourself as a performer, how much would you pay to see yourself perform?
How much would you pay?
Me? At least $10, between $10 and $20 to see me. Absolutely.
I feel like I can't.
I think 5 or 6 years ago, I don't think I would have felt comfortable, but like I fully believe I'm very entertaining at this point. So I'm like, yeah, I must. But even then, I'm like, fuck, I have friends, and like I want to make my friends also. Friends should also buy the tickets too.
So then give a friends and family discount.
Yeah, I'll give a friends and family discount. Exactly. Yeah.
We got a discount.
Yeah.
You give me discount, please. Discount.
We love the buy one get one free.
You can just pretend to be Indian.
I don't know.
It will work.
Oh, I've auditioned for a couple Rajas.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, that's
no, I swear to God.
That's Fizaa's favorite Indian guy
Raj?
name.
It's part of her joke.
It's been I have a bit about.
Yeah.
She's a bit about Raj.
I mean, the last audition I had was for some ABC show as Raj, who worked at a pet store. So.
And did you have to do the accent?
No, I don't think Hollywood makes you do that anymore.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Maybe this has changed.
I only know from that one.
Year.
I only know from that one episode. I watched all of Master of None, but the one with what's his name, Ravi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ravi.
Yeah, and when they were auditioning for that, he did the accent,
and then he got booked.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was, I don't know if, I think I have told this story before, but I was doing one of those like radio gigs, you know, where they like do the prank calls or whatever. And right before we were about to record it, the producer was like, oh yeah, and can you do an Indian accent? Like literally seconds before we were about to record it.
What'd you do?
I did it because like, what was I going to argue with the producer? Right before they're like about to press the button. And I was doing it with a partner, so we were both like a little floored.
Can you guys
ask for a second?
Can you guys like on command do a perfect Indian accent?
Yeah.
Like, is that in your blood?
Yeah.
Or no? Because I couldn't do my mother's accent if I tried.
I need to think about it.
Yeah, you got to like.
I need a second. I would have asked for a second. That's ridiculous.
Mine ranges from like my cousins in India to like my parents to whatever.
I feel like it's a lot of this though.
Yeah, there's a lot of like head.
I was just watching. I just know from Russell Peters specials.
Don't do that as much.
This
head
right?
bobbing,
I just know this from a special. Right?
Yeah,
a lot of
the hand movements.
Racist.
A lot of bobblehead.
I feel like my parents don't do that. My parents are a little bit Americanized now, so they do like a little bit of it, but not. But if I get into my cousins in India,
you go to India and it's on.
With my parents, it's like certain curse words or something like shit, yard, shit.
Yeah,
it's a lot of the shit yard,
especially in the city. So in Pakistan, there's a lot of yard.
There's a lot of yard and shit yard, shit.
Bloody hell.
Not bloody hell. It's rubbish, and shit yard.
Lots of shit. See, I grew up in Florida, so that's my predominant accent. I just sound like I work at Walmart.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what that would sound like. I've been to Florida a bunch. You sound like a normal person to me.
Yeah, you do sound pretty normal, Fizaa.
You actually have no accent.
I was surprised when you said you're from Florida.
Well, I mean, I've been here about 11 years, so you have to neutralize.
I mean, I guess you could be Florida. You seem pretty trashy, so.
Yeah.
Wait, so you can't transition into your mom's like Brazilian accent?
I cannot do my mom's. I can't do a Brazilian accent because I've literally been around it my whole life, and people are like, "Why don't you do your mom?" I was like, "I can't do it. I don't know how to do it." But I could recognize a Brazilian. I know somebody's Brazilian immediately.
And you speak Portuguese fluently, right?
And Spanish, yeah.
And Spanish,
yeah.
Because of your dad?
No, I worked at a bunch of. Well, here's the thing. I learned Portuguese at a really early age, and during during summers, my mom would send us to Brazil. After my dad died, my mom would send us to Brazil with my uncle, just because it was easier to So we learned Portuguese pretty quickly. As a kid, you soak it up. So once you learn the language young, any other accent and any other language becomes a little bit easier to get. So
especially with the Latin languages.
Yeah, 100%. So I took Spanish in school. I already spoke Portuguese, and then I worked at a bunch of restaurants, and she had a lot of Spanish friends. And you just like
was that a backhanded compliment
about what?
About Latin languages? That easy ass shit.
No, I never meant
queen of the backhanded compliment.
No, it's a known fact. It's a known fact.
I was learning French, and French was also kind of easy to learn,
yeah. But that's also a Latin language. Like if you learn one Latin language, the other ones are easier to pick up.
But even if you learning another language will be a little bit easier no matter what it is, and doing the accent will be easier.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to learn Japanese, I would have a better ability to say the words the way that it's supposed to be said. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm the best.
You are the best.
He'd pay $10 to see him.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
I'd pay $10.
You should put that on the flyer. I'd pay $10 to see
you got to know your worth, man.
What's the friends and family discount though?
$5.
Okay. Yeah.
$5.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's $10, if it's $15, just get $5 off.
Got it. All right. I want to switch over to some of our segments.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I have a segment that I call Man Crush, not on Monday. And it's mostly because I've just become a man hater over my
Who is it now? Who is it these days?
But it's just like over like
open season.
Yeah. But over decades of just, dealing with like the heteronormative male behavior, I've just become a man hater. So this segment is more a challenge to myself. Yeah. To find men who do good stuff in the world, to not hate men.
Sure.
So,
men with redeemable qualities.
Yes, men with redeemable qualities. Okay. So this episode's Man Crush. This episode's Man Crush.
The bar is so low for men to do one thing.
I know, right? Like it doesn't take much anymore.
I know. Well, how does the segment work?
I showcase a man that I've researched.
Oh, okay.
And he becomes a man crush for that episode.
Let's talk about it.
So this segment's Man Crush is Dr. Gary Chapman. who's a pastor, PhD, and counselor, and most notable for a book he published back in the 90s called The 5 Love Languages.
I'm all about those love languages.
How to express heartfelt commitment to your mate.
I never read the book, but I get. I mean, I took the test.
The list.
Yeah, but we all. I think a lot of us know what our love languages are. And if you don't, you could go find out, take a quiz and find out your love language. It's 5lovelanguages.com, and 5 is like the numeral 5. So 5lovelanguages.com. So the 5 love languages include
acts of service, giver of gifts, quality time, physical touch, and
words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation.
Yeah, so those are the 5. And the way he explains it in the book, it is these 5 basically describe how you express and experience love. So how you express your love and how you're used to receiving love. And it's usually everybody has like a primary love language and a secondary love language. Yeah. So for instance, my primary love language is acts of service.
Sure. I think anybody who's a child of an immigrant is probably that one.
Absolutely. Because in my household, there weren't like words of affirmation or like that much touch or whatever. So in my house, like you did things to help each other. And so I think that's why mine is acts of service. But also because there was never any sort of like affection through words or anything like that. I that's my secondary love language.
Are your
is
parents
words of affirmation.
Affectionate now or no? Still
Never. No. I mean, their affection in the way that they like banter and argue with each other.
Sure.
If they're not arguing, I just assume something's wrong. So
that's so interesting. My parents were actually pretty physically affectionate.
Mine too.
Emotionally a little, not
because you're probably so cute as a little kid.
My mom put powder on me.
I want to squeeze you.
Yeah, but
so what's your love language?
Acts of service.
Yours is acts of
and
service.
I think it also
What's your
might be
secondary?
I'm starting to think it might be physical touch. So
that's interesting. What about you guys? Have you guys taken the quiz, Pallavi?
I don't think I've taken.
I didn't take it yet, but I can.
But I think
if I were to look at this and say,
I think physical touch is a big one for me. I think physical touch and acts of service probably.
Oh, but it doesn't really go into detail. Just take it sometime.
Yeah, just take it. You could like
take it sometime.
Take it.
It doesn't take long. Time, physical touch, and acts of service.
You think quality time, but you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You think it because that's what I thought, but I don't.
Well, quality over quantity.
Because I truly believe like that even if you spend time apart, like a bond can still remain strong.
Yeah, that's true.
If you are that kind of person who can see past that,
Yeah. I mean, for me, like this has been since I took this test and since I became more aware of the 5 love languages, it's actually helped me in a lot of my relationships because you learn how to better show love to the people around you once you
show love.
Why didn't we have him singing the whole time?
Yeah. You learn how to express the love to the people around you, your loved ones. So your relationships do tend to become stronger.
But how you express it and receive it can be different, right?
Yeah.
But also,
my ex-girlfriend was like a words of affirmation, and it drove her fucking nuts that I just did not say I miss you or I love you. And I was like, that's not how I fucking do things.
But it's like you also have to adjust, right? So if the person you love needs words of affirmation, then maybe that's something that you gotta work with when you're.
Want to stay.
And I did that, but it's like if you don't, it's like a two-way street. So you gotta work on the shit that I need. If you don't do that, you just say shit and don't do shit. It's like
what were the needs that weren't being received?
The point is, I don't know. It's like I don't think she just took the time to understand who I was really. And
who is this bitch?
No, listen. We don't have to get into it now, but I take 90% of the blame of this relationship ending.
Wow, a man taking the blame.
But I do think
new man crush Monday for Zahra.
New man crush Monday.
What I'm saying is like there is accountability on both sides when a relationship falls apart. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not saying one person. It's like I don't think one person is at fault. Like if a woman leaves you for another man, like on some level that is your fault, Jerry, whoever, on some level, because it's like maybe you weren't doing something right. Maybe she is like a cheater and she doesn't know, but I don't know. But
the fault thing, it's just like, well, if it doesn't work out, it wasn't right.
I mean, you write about that too.
So then it's like, why does something, why is there a need to blame? something. Like,
Exactly,
I think maybe people start blaming when they hang on to some shit that's not working.
But I also
then you build resentment.
I also think anger is a good coping mechanism to move on for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So they just view it through a lens.
Dude,
of
Anger's activating.
when we broke up, this girl was like, I wouldn't be surprised if you fucking raped somebody.
Ooh.
Whoa.
And
That is some crazy ass shit.
yeah.
So she just didn't know you.
Yeah.
Or she was hurt and angry.
She was hurt and angry. Yeah. I mean, I cheated a little bit.
Oh, okay.
The
Well,
last leg of it,
that
so.
probably had something to do with it. So was anger.
That's not rape, though.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have more bad news for you guys.
Also, have you learned from your cheating experience?
Yeah.
Will you ever cheat again, you think?
No, but I also can't.
You can't
say that
predict the future.
But I'm
right?
not. I'm not like that. Like I'm not that kind of. Like I've never did it before. So I just also do a lot of fiddling around in that gray area, before and after. Like, that gray area where you're not quite together, or when you break up, you're still kind of hooking up and you're not. You know what I mean? But no, not blatant. Like
they were on a break, you guys. They were on a break.
Yeah, never like blatant like this, like flat out.
You're stretching the boundaries.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have bad news for you guys.
Yeah.
According to Psychology Today, the research
we've transitioned to her science segment.
The research on the love languages found that couples who shared the same primary love language were no happier than couples with a love language mismatch. They also found that while the vast majority of participants in this study intuitively understood their partner's primary love language, insight about what they needed to feel loved didn't result in better relational outcomes. So sorry, guys. Also, I don't like this part of it.
Are you just bursting her?
That's just bullshit. No, that's bullshit.
I mean, it's a study. It's a research study.
No, I think also it's a study. Also, like they train this in corporate environments too. It's not a love language, but it's also like what is the personality type of the person you're working with, and change your behavior or modify your style to better work with that person. So it's just like a different way of like interacting with people and training yourself to have better relationships.
But it doesn't necessarily guarantee better outcomes.
Guys, it's all about
and this was specifically for romantic relationships.
Okay. Well, I don't know. My boyfriend's love language is touch, and it's been working well.
Because he be touching those tracks, baby. He's like, oh, thank you so much. I'll be here all night.
Wait, so should I leave?
We should both go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like he's understanding that my love language is acts of service. So he's like, he does things.
Hey, can I ask you
me.
a personal question?
What's up?
Is he good with his fingers? Like
he's great with his hands.
When he be diddling you?
She keeps
be real
saying
with
this.
us.
DJs are great with their hands. That's all I'm going to say. They're great with their hands. That's it.
He's got rhythm at least. So
he does.
Okay, this other part's going to make you really mad too.
Okay.
It made me mad. In relationships, when there is a misalignment of primary love languages in hetero relationships, both men and women were happier when women adjusted their behavior to their partner's needs.
Uh-huh.
I hate that.
I'm not going to argue that.
Justin?
So when females modified their behavior to meet the needs of their partner, both the men and the women were happier than if they didn't or the men didn't. I'm gonna attribute that to like ego.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I will say, but there's also that saying that everybody says, like, happy wife, happy life. You know, and that's part of it too. Like, if you are not making your woman happy in your relationship and you're in a committed relationship with a woman, shit's gonna hit the fan.
And also, men do worse after breakups than women do. So they probably,
it takes me a long time to get over a breakup, even if I do the breaking up. I moved here for a girl. We dated for 6 months. This shit ripped my heart out. It took me 1.5 years to get over this shit. So I could,
There it is.
Feel sad for me, everybody.
I feel sad. Yeah. Do you have a breakup song? Did you write a song to help you get over it?
I have
Let's
a breakup
hear a breakup
song. Do you really want to hear a breakup song?
Let's hear it. We have the guitar here, so
it's plugged in.
He prepped it for us.
Yay! I'm so excited. We get serenaded.
We're not paying you $10 for that.
It's 20 minus 5.
I have so many songs. And you pick one of my sad, funny songs. I'll tell you what, though. Can I play this? I'll play the sad, funny song as long as you let me play like a really quick 30-second song after it.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so this song is called I Can't, I Won't. Is this weird for you? Is this the first for you in your podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm most nervous about what Fizz is going to think about this.
We know.
I've been real quiet during this podcast, and you bitches have been real
So
extra.
much chemistry.
All right, this is called I Can't, I Won't.
Can you feel the love
Tonight.
I can't, and I won't. This isn't working. I don't love you anymore. It's not you, it's me. What the fuck are we even doing? I don't want this anymore. 2 a.m. and I'm drunk and you're drunk. This is probably the best time for us to break up. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. We probably never should have dated at all. Just so you know, I'm blocking all your calls. We'll have to cancel our next trip. Oh my God, those were non-refundable plane tickets. I gotta pick up some things from your place. Just let me know when. Nope, never gonna happen. I don't wanna see you again. Maybe we could have sex just one more time.
Hey, did I say that?
Maybe if we do, it will change your mind. Because when has that ever been a bad idea?
Nope.
All right.
Yay.
Sometimes you. Oh, I could go. There's more to it, but I could end. I don't have to finish it. It's okay.
That's nice. You're right. It's sad and
It is
funny.
sad. Yeah, it gets really whimsical at the end. But I have this one other song. It's like 30 seconds long.
Do it.
And
Do it.
Do it.
It's probably the dumbest shit I ever wrote, but it makes me laugh. So this song is about getting older. I'm going to turn my guitar down a little bit. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. It's about getting older. I went to the bathroom to take a little pee. I shook my ding dong a little bit so there be no more left in me. I put my ding dong back in my pants, and to my surprise, there were still a few drip drops left, and I peed on my thigh. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Somebody said that's the most consistent part of being in your 30s and a man is
the drip
like,
after the
do I
pee-pee?
still need a pee?
It is kind of weird, yeah. Anyway,
Well, now you
Some of
know
the
what
shit I
it's
do.
like being a woman.
what's that?
The drip drip.
Yeah.
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 That's what Cardi's song is about.
Drip drip. Drip drip. The Ric Flair trip.
She also said Fizza told me we were going to talk about our favorite Southeast Asian person.
Yeah.
South Asian.
Yeah, so
South
that's
Asian.
that's usually our
What does that
wrap-up
include?
segment.
Are we on the wrap-up segment?
Yeah.
I think we are. Okay.
Okay.
So our wrap-up segment
I have a
is
show to get to.
we always ask our guests who their favorite South Asian celebrity.
Yeah, so I put into Google after she sent me that. I couldn't really. I literally Googled it and looked at the Wikipedia list, and one literally jumped out at me.
Studied.
And I literally love this. He's actually a comedian. This guy Arj Barker. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Arj Barker.
Arj Barker.
So Arj Barker, he did some Comedy Central stuff here in America. But what happened was he went to Melbourne. He went to Australia.
Melbourne.
And he like killed it in Australia. And he was like, well, fuck, dude. I'm working so hard to be famous in this country. He's
I
like,
do
fuck
know
this.
him.
They love me here. So he just stayed there and he was a fucking celebrity there.
Wow.
And but he
Like he's on TV and stuff and doing comedy everywhere.
He had a couple of Comedy Central Presents specials.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he
I've
looks
seen this
talented.
guy. I've seen this
Yeah.
guy.
And
Arj. Arj?
and if you haven't ever seen him do stand up, go back and watch some of his specials because I think his jokes were so funny, and I just thought he was like when I first started doing stand up, I would take notes on people's sets like a nerd, and like I would watch.
I do
him
that.
I do that
I
too.
do that.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
Arj Barker, you guys.
And I think I looked him up from that. I think his actual name is like Arj Singh or something like that. I think he's half Indian and half something else.
That's a fun stage name.
Yeah, Arj Barker. Yeah.
Cool.
And now we're wrapping up the podcast.
Thank you for giving us a new celebrity, because usually we get I love Aziz Ansari and
Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah.
I mean, so what countries, really quick, constitute
Pakistan, India,
but none of Middle East. Middle East is not in that clump.
No.
Okay.
So that's the Middle East.
It's Middle East, yeah.
So
They will
South
probably be insulted if you call them South Asian.
Then I won't do that.
Okay. All right.
But if you call a South Asian Middle Eastern,
They're like, ooh.
Zahra.
Yeah. My parents love to be confused or mistaken for South Asian. It's like a thing.
Middle Eastern.
Yeah, Middle Eastern. Sorry. So our last question, as we wrap up the podcast,
Yeah.
So this is a safe space.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
Is it?
Maybe not today. Maybe not for Fizaa. Do you have any like dumb or curious, any questions about South Asian culture or people? Or food.
Or like something weird some South Asian kid did.
Is there a big difference between Pakistani and Indian food?
Pakistani meat is better.
Also, I was in London, and like the national dish of London is like curry. And it's some sort of curry, and I had the best Indian food I ever had.
It's not going to be like their potatoes or whatever.
No. Yeah, of course not.
Fish and chips.
Their national food's not even their food.
It's like I feel like there's variations of like tikka masala and
that was
saag paneer
invented
and
by
like,
a Britisher.
Oh really?
Tikka masala.
Dude, can I tell you something? I read the most fucked up shit that I read about English colonization of India was jam boys. You know what jam boys are?
What's jam boys?
Holy shit, dude. Just look up jam boy. I don't know if I want to talk about it because it's like really fucked up what they did to Indian people.
You have to tell us. Just tell us real quick.
Oh no, we're going to end on a very violent note.
We're going to make him play the music after.
So when English people were occupying India and it was like hot outside and they were trying to like have meeting or whatever, just be
I love that
around.
He's giving us a history lesson about Indian history.
Jam boys were boys that they would literally put jam on, like sugary jam on. So the flies and the bugs would stick to the boy and they wouldn't bother the white people hanging out. And at the end of it, they'd be like, let the boy take the jam home and eat it and shit like that. I was like, that is some next level like subject, like humiliation kind of bullshit.
I mean, I think just the level of suffering in those countries, it's just so different.
There's
from
so
here.
much suffering.
Jam Boys sounded like a cool like 80s band, but now it's
I thought it was dope.
Never name your band Jam Boys.
The dogs in India.
Oh my god.
Oh god damn it. Okay. India has good shit. I cried last episode.
Yeah.
Dude, I just saw a photo of them and like the water's so that place like it kind of scares me to go there because I'm a really empathetic person and I feel like I'd just be really sad about.
Don't go.
Don't do it. No, I love India.
Really fucked up, dude. People straight up living in garbage.
I think it's important to
That's
to
true,
have
but
that.
they have resorts now.
But it gives you a contrast. It gives you an ability to appreciate.
And there are places where it's not, like they aren't as well off, but they're finding like new ways.
Well, there's more of a middle class in India.
Oh, wait, did you want me to play music at the end? I'm sorry, I put my guitar.
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
But they are finding like new ways to improve the life there, and it's like there is like that poverty and stuff. But like if you like for me, I go back every 2 or 3 years, and I've like seen the change and stuff.
There's stand-up comedy there now.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I just got back from SF. I mean, just hella Indian and Pakistani people doing stand-up up there.
Yeah. All of those people are our friends.
Yeah, dude. I did a show last night. The last show I did.
That's where we met. No, I'm just.
She's like fucking with me. It's like, I mean, I did meet somebody who looked like you.
Yeah, it's basically everyone who's burned out from the tech industry is now doing stand-up.
Yeah, man.
over.
I did a show last night. Half the crowd was of like,
brown?
I think brown. So I don't know exactly where. But this one chick was her birthday getting wasted, Indian girl. She was like up on my nuts. And it's like, you got to bring me up on stage with you so we could sing together.
Oh my God.
And I was like, no, I got to go. Yeah. Well, I got to pee really bad. So you got to end the pot. No.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, we'll do that. Well,
make sure to shake it out at the end.
Let it drip.
I'll probably have a couple drip
Let it
drops.
drip.
For your sake and ours.
Yeah. Dude, Morgan,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh,
Thank
and
you.
you're gonna ask me
where can people find you?
Yeah, you go to I use my Instagram the most. It's at Morgan J, J-A-Y. And then I have a podcast that I put out once a week called Relationship Status, where we talk about people's relationships and love lives or lack thereof, or where they are in their heart and soul and shit like that. So I'm obsessed with that stuff. I like talking about it. I find, people just want to know that they're not crazy. So that's why I like hearing other people's stories, So
Cool.
That's beautiful.
Awesome.
Okay. You can find us at Facial Recognition Comedy on Instagram and Facebook, and Facial Rec Comedy on Twitter. We also have a Patreon where you can find the videos of Morgan J serenading you.
Cannot wait to do the live show.
Patreon.com/facial recognition comedy.
And if that's too much, there's facialrecognitioncomedy.com also.
Yeah. Which has everything. We will be at SF Sketchfest January 19th at 8 p.m. at Cafe du Nord. We will also have our Zahra show on January 13th.
Oh, yeah. It's the All Zahra show. The We Are Not the Same Zahra and also We Are Not Zahra.
West Side Comedy Theater.
West Side Comedy Theater, January.
I think 13th.
Second Sunday.
The second Sunday of the month. Yeah. It's also my birthday. It's legit my birthday weekend.
It is? She likes to party.
That's perfect.
So come party with me and all the other Zahras in comedy.
You gotta pee. We're just gonna go pee.
Yeah, go pee.
Yeah.
Go pee. We're just wrapping this shit up.
Tinkle and drip drip.
Drip drip. I'm Pallavi Ganalan, Pallaviguna. You can't laugh in the middle, girl.
Time cut.
I don't want people to be able to hack into your emails and shit.
Pallaviguna. Hack into my emails. Do you understand how the internet works?
No.
I don't know.
That's my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, and my website. We're gonna teach Fizaa how
and her
hacking
password.
And your password.
Her password to everything.
My joke.
This was a specific reference to your joke, not my joke. This is your joke.
See, we remember your joke.
Oh my God! Wow, I feel so seen.
See.
All right.
Did you spell
really,
your name?
Zahra? What? No, that's just your.
That's your.
Oh yeah, sure. That's my Instagram. You guys, you can find me on all the social medias as Really Zahra. Zahra is spelled Zahra.
Zahra. Okay, and I'm Fizaa Dasani. It's at Fizaa Dasani everywhere. FizaaDasani.com. I'm not going to assume you know how to spell it, so it's FIZAADOSANI because all these other bitches are spelling their names.
Yeah, we bitches.
All right, we're gonna
Google us. It's fine.
Fucking, you know where the podcast is. Just click on the things.
Yeah,
and then add us.
yeah.